construction in terms of the metal base, our capsule size, the suspension design, the high pass low filter. I think we're doing a really great job to offer a product that has very performant and innovative base feature functions and design elements at not necessarily more money.
Okay, I think I heard Damien ask a question. Oh, there's a lot of hype in there. Okay,
There's a question
he's
about
letting us
whether or
know
not you
a
can
lot
put
of hype in the chat for the,
Hey,
for the mic.
I dig it. I dig it, man. I'm very happy that we're getting a lot of feedback.
They're what?
Third-party filters.
Oh.
So that's kind of an interesting question because, of course, it's a digital mic. You can apply any filter you want, right? So if you're doing it through OBS or if you're doing Streamlabs or you're using
it should be just,
it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, because a lot of times, especially those software programs, just stack them on top of whatever it was, and the filtering's not happening at the hardware level. It's actually happening on the software level, which is great. Okay. So where are we going now?
Next, we go to our flagship Ergo gaming mouse. So this is brand new. So we already had the RG Harp, which was an amazing mouse. Now feel it. That 54 grams, it just is, it's almost like it just feels like nothing.
And I need you guys to know something. Somebody might be like, Roby, what are your thoughts on Asus mice? Let me show you something real quick over here, guys. You come over here.
Ooh, let's find out, because I don't even know what's happening here, guys.
Hi.
And people are saying, Roby, do you like Asus mice? I literally
the RG Harp,
the AimLab, the Harp. Yeah, so it's like I use these. I like the lighter ones. I actually have the Gladius as well. But yeah, no, I love these, and especially because also they're great travel mice because they're so light.
Yeah, they're so light. Plus, also a rarity amongst high-end, actually ultralight mice is tri-mode. That is Bluetooth 2.4 and USB-C.
Yeah, which blows my mind given how light it is that you're able to get all that stuff in there. So when sometimes you guys think like I get excited about stuff, but this is stuff that JJ knows I've spent my money on. I didn't ask for these, you know what I mean? Like these are all things that I've actually purchased with my own hardcore cash. So hardcore, hard-earned cash. I don't know if this is hard-earned. We just get to have fun playing with hardware. So I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know if this is hard-earned.
It's definitely hard-earned because this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But in terms of these guys, so it's pretty impressive. So actually, it's fantastic that you showed the Harp right there, because that is our symmetrical body design.
With my own
this
hardcore
is our ergo body design, which for me, I prefer to be hard ergo body because I have a little bit bigger hands. I like being able to hold my mouse a little bit more.
But
54 grams, harder. This is a lot of work. But in terms of these guys, so it's unprecedented in the industry. Actually, it's fantastic. We have our RG optical-based switches that is our symmetrical body design. This will maintain triangle body Bluetooth 2.4 and USB-C. We also maintain our integrated storage rate for the hard cut down a little bit more. But 54 grams, this is a lot of work. But in terms of these guys, so it's unprecedented in the industry. We have our RG optical-based switches that is our symmetrical body design. This will maintain triangle body Bluetooth. For me, actually, we also maintain it's almost no other mouse on the market. Our integrated storage rate for the hard cut down a little bit more. That is as well. 54 grams, you got to be able to use the large but in terms of these guys, actually, it's unprecedented in the industry. We have our RG optical-based switches that is our symmetrical body design. This will maintain triangle body Bluetooth. Actually, we also maintain it's almost 4K wireless and 8K our integrated storage rate for the hard cut down a little bit more. That is as well. 54 grams, you got to be able to use the large but in terms of these guys, actually, it's unprecedented in the industry. We have our RG optical-based switches that is our symmetrical body design. 4K wireless and actually has our integrated storage rate for the hard cut down a little bit more. That is as well. 54 grams, you got to be able to use the large but in terms of these guys, actually, it's unprecedented
When you love something, you do everything to make this the meaning of your life. Thousands of upgrade variations. Tens of thousands of ships. millions of destinies.
10th gen, and then on the AMD side, really at least Ryzen 5000 series and above for your CPU, because just you're sending huge amounts of data through the bus. Your CPU needs to be fast enough to process all of that and also not bring down the actual performance of your actual game.
I did not know that. Even like, hey, I learned. Even Brian's nodding his head. I did not know that. Dad, did you know that? He's like,
So yeah, just pro tip, you need to have a fast enough system, and I would also recommend that if you're at 4K or 8K, your monitor needs to at least be 240 hertz or higher.
Okay.
All right, let's go rock and roll.
Let's go rock and roll. So where are we going?
Oh, don't pass it, don't pass it. The TWS, so these have actually been really popular for us. We've actually had them be a persistent Amazon top seller solution, but we decided to update it. So this is our TWS solution. Now everybody and their mom makes TWS. I know that, I get that. So what did Asus to differentiate itself? Our main thing was to focus not only on just having good sound quality, but low latency for gaming.
Hold on, 1 second. You said everybody makes what?
TWS.
What is TWS?
So that's going to be for true wireless, right?
Okay,
so
okay.
A true wireless in-earbud solution, right?
Got it.
There's tons of great companies out there that do it. Shure, Bose, Sony, tons of companies, right? But most of them all are going to generally be using Bluetooth. Bluetooth is not a great option if you care about gaming and low latency.
Okay.
So our original model, which was Bluetooth, had a special optimized low latency operating mode. But for this generation, we wanted to further improve upon it. So we actually have a 2.4 gigahertz USB-C wireless adapter. So this USB-C wireless adapter, you can plug into anything. Plug it into your phone, your Switch, your laptop, your desktop, it doesn't matter. You're going to get that guaranteed no pairing experience, low latency, great range, higher bandwidth. So if you want the absolute best experience, use the 2.4. But if you just want to listen, of course, the latest stream, some Spotify, some Apple Music, whatever it might be, use your Bluetooth. And you also support multi-point, which means you can pair multiple devices at the same time without having to switch them.
I didn't even know you made these.
Yeah, these are, we've had them for about a year, but this is now the new Speed Nova edition. And some other really cool stuff that we're bringing in, again, really being leaders in technology, we're adding a bone conduction sensor. So if you guys don't know about bone conduction, this is really interesting. Right now on the mic, you guys are hearing me, but you're also hearing stuff around me, right? And the big difference with a bone conduction sensor is you can pick up just the voice of the individual speaking.
Oh, so this is for
your actual game chat or for calls. So instead of picking up all that other noise, you're just going to pick up that one person. And then you add in our AI noise canceling mic. We can combine those two together to also help to further even mitigate noise profiling.
Okay, so chat, I need you to put something real quick in chat. What's up, Brian?
Damian asked if we have a price point for it, and is it compatible with PS5?
Yeah, so from PS5, I would have to check. I can tell you, like I said, generally any USB-C enabled device should work. Now, I don't believe the PS5 has a Type-C port, it has a Type-A port.
I don't remember. I think it actually is USB-C. It is USB-C, and there's multiple, so it should work.
So in theory, yes, it should work, but just because consoles can sometimes have weird protocols as far as how they handle maybe audio, I don't want to say interoperability without checking.
Here's my thing, guys. I want you guys to put this in chat. JJ, please send these to Robey, because I didn't know you had them. And it's funny, it's one of those things that we do a lot of stuff with traveling, especially with our coverage of handhelds and everything else. Plus, I'd love to answer that question, so maybe we can get some?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So price point, we haven't finalized on it, but it will be similar. Our current Cetra True Wireless, you can buy on Amazon right now, it's only $100. So it was already a great price.
Wow, that's actually really, that's everybody started, I was like, that's actually less than I expected.
For this model, we are hoping to be just a little bit more expensive. So compared to a lot of other TWS on the market, if you buy like a Sony Premium, you're talking like $300, right? So this is actually going to be, I think, for our feature set, a very strong value.
Wow, okay, yeah. So guys, stay tuned. We'll definitely get some of these. We'll have some shorts, some videos, and all that sort of stuff on them. I was like, this is the one I've come through, and I've tested most of the stuff I'm on, but okay, we'll get it. We'll test it, okay.
All right, so let's pop on over here.
By the way, chat is asking for JJ to send a pair of those to Robey and a pair to Blondie.
So we're going to wrap up BTF here. with the tough gaming BTF-based ecosystem. So we're not going to recap. Again, guys, you're watching us on the stream, but through the magic of Rewind, if you want to learn about BTF, just go check out the detailing that we talked about at the beginning of the stream. But this is just going to be the tough gaming ecosystem. But the really part that I'm excited about showing is our brand new chassis, which is again going to be an ATX traditional build and BTF. And actually, if you're picking up the video, we've given you the 2 examples. So this is a normal build.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I got it. So you've got the normal, and then you've actually got the BTF.
Yes, but both from the same chassis.
Both from the same chassis.
Because this is our 302. So the 302 is actually targeted to be very price aggressive. We're hoping to be about like 110, 120.
Nice.
But if you take a look at the feature set and you compare it to something like a 4000D, which is a very popular chassis, we're going to give you
Chad is also
140
asking how we can send JJ a coffee and
140 in the back, which is not present there. 360 top mounting. You're also going to have improved actually spacing between the radiator and actually the clearance for the graphics card. So even if you want to have like a card like a 4090,
there's
and
also
even
a request
RAD,
to take the side panel
in there
off
with
of
no
that black
constraints.
build. So
Our attention to detail, where you can see our white interior. I believe we actually were the first when we did it with the GT502 that we did truly a white interior where
and
it was white on the inside.
That MOBO looks great. I mean, again, it's one of those things that does such a great job of covering the whole thing. Guys, this is a very clean looking build. And that GPU
looks nice.
It looks so nice.
And the great thing is that this is also not an expensive system. When we think about it, this is our Tough Gaming Z790 Pro board. So that's a $280 board. The BTF board will be a little bit more, but that's a 4070 Ti Super, and this is a $110 chassis. Now, if the Ryujin is, of course, a little bit of an expensive AIO, but if you popped in maybe something like a Strix LC in there, this is not an expensive build.
Yep.
If you think about it, and even this is also using our Tough Gaming White Edition upcoming ATX 3.0 power supply with those beautiful flex, fully etched modular cables. And this is actually not that expensive a build that you can put together. Super clean, super nice.
And guys, don't worry, we are doing a live build of this very, very soon. It's all happening. Everything's going through there. But you guys are going to see both of these. Again, we'll do it in depth, just like what you're seeing here, walking through step by step. And the best thing about it is when we do these, actually JJ will be joining us to just kind of give us some additional introduction and some overviews on some of that stuff as well, which will actually be really, really cool.
Yep. And for even access, a really nice detent based ball design, so just super easy to be able to go ahead and get in there.
Wow, that's awesome.
So the last one is, this one's a little bit of a sleeper, but it's our fan hub.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Our first official fan hub. It's going to probably be like $25 or something in or around that range. Your 4-pin fans, your ARGB fans, but the big thing is that we focus on a high quality PCB design, so you have good quality actually protection mechanisms that are built in. We also have improved power handling, so there's actually 2 SATA connections. And the main reason why is because with a lot of newer fans on the market,
Chad is also
as well as also more RGB lighting and more
BTF
fans,
boards.
the power drives can be higher, so this ensures better stability and reliability.
Awesome.
Also an update on our fans. These are our TR120 fans. An update to the TF120. And a cool little hallmark here is you'll notice that they have like an interesting two-line pattern or single-line pattern, and you can rotate it to customize that. So if you want to go like 2-line, 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 or 1-1-1-1-1, you can do that, so you can have a different kind of look and feel.
That's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, that's neat. Okay, so you can make it
also keeping the price aggressive, because as opposed to having like 3 fans that could be like $100, $120. The TF120s right now, usually for the 3-pack with the controller, is sub $50.
Yeah.
So, and this we're looking to target.
That's actually a good
the
price.
same price point.
And we've actually we've shown some of those, and you guys have seen the performance of those as well. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. So the last thing on the chassis side before we get ready to wrap things up here, guys, with a couple of cool, surprising updates. You guys have already checked out the PA602. If you haven't, watch the live stream, watch a recent full review on it. But we are going to have an update coming in for the PA602, where we're going to be introducing some wood into it.
Really?
So this is just a rough TBT sample, so it's not final, but you're going to see that we will offer a natural wood finish, and then we will offer a black wood finish, which I look absolutely fantastic. So you'll have wood on the handles, you'll have wood on the front, and then you'll have wood down at the base. So,
and will the chassis also be black with the natural wood?
Yes.
That's actually kind of cool. Okay, wow.
So yeah, just keep tuned here, right? We're going to be working on this. Probably won't be until maybe Q2 timeframe in terms of the target. But we're also doing a lot of things with the actual fabrication and the finishing. So we're actually thermally treating the wood so the wood won't expand or contract. We also have a high grade quality coating so that you don't have to worry about any type of warpage, making sure that it keeps its sheen, it's insect proof. So even from something as basic of just adding a material, we want to make sure that you have a good experience, right?
Wow, awesome.
So on this side here, we're going to now kind of go into a little bit of the meta. It's not something you would normally kind of cover, but I think it's kind of interesting.
No, let's do it. No.
So this is going to be the Asus Air Vision M1. It's our first AR-based set of glasses.
And these are the things, like, believe it or not, here's the deal, guys. A lot of people don't understand how much this can enhance gaming and a lot of other things. So tell me all about these and the displays and everything else.
Yeah, so this is going to be a micro OLED-based display technology.
Okay.
It's going to be significantly brighter than similar options in the marketplace. We're at 1100 nits peak brightness. So I want you to try it out because I think you're going to be really impressed by what we're able to achieve here. It will support prescription and non-prescription-based users. We'll actually have 2 sets of included pads so you can adjust to be able to account for a little bit more variance in kind of the ridge, width, and kind of just different people have different size noses and things along those lines. Now this will be natively powered by USB-C, right? So you can go ahead and connect it to something like an RG Ally or USB-C out on a laptop. And also again for the OS X users out there, we will actually be supporting OS X, the future application update, probably at the end of the year.
So can I make a feature request? And I heard
Yes.
Damien had a question, but my feature request is, now that I've used these, only having a single USB-C on the ROG Ally, so I'd like to be able to charge while also using my glasses.
Yes.
For people asking for my, so I use the XR2s because these weren't out at the time. So I have probably 100+ hours using my glasses.
So this is perfect then. I want to get a good baseline.
So, I've used these a ton, and I will tell you, they really are. Especially, and the thing is, believe it or not, pulling them out and using them on a plane or in bed or whatever it was, and these I'm assuming have. You can hear sound, all that's because I'm wearing Metas right now. So it's like again. So
well, let's pop it on. Come on,
let's pop it on. Here we go. We're going to take off my other Meta glasses.
Just watch out here for the side. I mean, you'll be able to get some B-roll right here, but we actually have a touch panel. But because you don't know what the touch functions are yet, don't worry about touching it.
Okay. Here we go.
So you already know the Ally, you got your joystick, you got your trigger for the gas, so go ahead and try it on. Sometimes if you pull it a little bit forward or backwards,
it's perfect right now.
So actually go ahead and look at this wall, because that's the other thing. Right now he's in AR mode. So right now he's seeing everything around us, but he's also seeing the screen in front of him in the glasses. Now in a moment, Roby, Justin, I'm going to go ahead and put on the full projection experience.
That's the way that I use it most of the time, is with the projection. But it's actually, like, the one thing is that with the X-Airs, like I can't see the screen this well.
Yeah, well, part of it is because of the brightness.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely seeing more bright. And if you want to get some side view there, you guys can kind of see how the glasses and stuff work. But
all right, so I'm going to take you in.
Okay,
are you ready?
It's coming. I will not be able to see after this.
It's coming. There we go.
There we go. And this is how I use them most of the time. Just so you know, JJ, please send me these.
Okay, I will make sure to go ahead and note that
because this one is, because we're in the middle of doing some things and we're testing a bunch of these. And honestly, I never knew how much I love these kind of these kind of glasses, and this is a peripheral. So
well, I mean, the easiest way to think about it is this is an extension of our display portfolio. And when I say display portfolio, Asus makes, of course, monitors, we make projectors, and now this is an actual extension. It's just the next evolution that for years you're not just going to say, what's your new glasses, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are the new ones? Are they going to be brighter? They're going to have more FOV? And the cool part is we're going to show you on the other side, we have an application in Windows that allows you to have full customizations. You can have targeted zones. You can go ultra wide. You have like an infinity mode where you could have like 6 applications. You can have your YouTube shorts. You can have your Twitch. You can have your email. You can have photos.
Really?
And you can set that all up to your liking in different configuration parameters.
Wow.
So we're going really next level with this, double down to really offer you, I think, an unprecedented level of control and flexibility and experience. And also, while yes, it's a little bit bigger than a standard set of glasses, I don't feel that this is inherently super obtrusive or kind of crazy, right? Like I would feel okay being in, I could go to a coffee shop. Maybe if I go into a baseball game before there, I could kind of sit, kind of look at some stuff, and I wouldn't feel like super weird. Nope. You know what I mean?
And believe it or not, like again, the thing is it's one of those things that like they're also conversation pieces. So
yeah.
Like truth be told, but like sitting there and using them,
about if those come in
especially if you have
lenses.
stats and stuff that you can do while watching it. There's a lot. that we needed them to get this small to be able to really be able to use them in a meaningful way, right? I remember like I was
in a non-gimmicky kind of way.
Exactly. I remember Google Glass way back in the day, and I remember wearing those and all. And it was like it just wasn't. But this, just being able to walk around. And the other thing too is honestly, guys, it's so hard to show, and this will be the toughest part. But the brightness makes a big difference.
Yeah, especially us being able to be over that 1,000 nits. I feel that's one of the key benefits. So if
this is a stand.
Yeah, just pop right there.
There it is. Okay, there we go.
So if you go over right here, this is one of the cool things where we showed up that you'll actually have in our software application.
So here we go over here, Brian.
You can go in and you can make all your adjustments. So you see you've got a working mode, gaming mode, infinity mode, and you can see you can set up your different displays. You can actually pin the displays. So if you want to keep them associated in one specific sector, you can actually have the touch control on the side of the actual, the Air Vision based glasses, right? So this is going to be pretty cool, and we'll have even way more features in here that also allow you to tailor it based on users' preferences in terms of their pupillary distance and a lot of other cool things to, again, try to make sure that it works best for you.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of control that you have to make them. Because I mean, that's the thing is like, and that's the thing is you go in there and you have the nose pads, which is all about adjusting, being able you can see the whole thing. Yep. The other thing too is like after that, like this.
But we can test it quickly. Why don't you see if they have the multiple windows set up, and you can just give me your quick thoughts there.
Okay.
And this is a raw demo because I don't know if it was left side up, so we're just going to see.
Well, it is. It's just all pinned down here, though.
I gotta hold it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I got to hold this, right? Is it this side? Oh, there it is. Okay. And that's what you were saying. Oh, this is crazy.
So there you go. It's feeling a little meta, right?
Yeah,
a little bit like this is a movie,
okay, so guys,
but it's
just
real
so you
life.
understand what I'm seeing here, like the way that it works is like I hold this. So think of this as like I have monitors here, I have a monitor here, I have a monitor here. So as I'm working, I'm like, oh, I want to see, and I'm like, oh, a Discord. I'm over there. How's my stream doing? And all of that stuff, or like what's chat thing, and I can have all of those things in space. And you guys already laugh at how I look, so I mean, like me doing this live on stream, nobody would be like, whatever, right?
Whatever, right?
This is pretty cool. Dad, hi. I can see you. I'm waving like I can see everybody. There's people.
And again, if you also wanted to feel like you were just looking normally at a more monitor, then you could of course put on the shades. That's why we call it AR, because of course you have augmented reality where you're mixing the real world, of course, with the virtual digital display. But again, you could just put on your magnetic shades and you'd be good to go.
This is really cool.
So projection here, we don't have a final MSRP target, but you know it will be, of course, a bit more than let's say like the X-Real solutions in the marketplace based on our performance, our spec, and our feature set. Beyond that, in terms of our kind of target release, probably look for more updates, I would say, within the Q2 timeframe.
Yeah, and so again, X-Real is, I think they were like a little in the mid 400s, I think is what you end up paying right there. So that's just giving you an idea in terms of where he's thinking about pricing a little bit higher than that.
We'll definitely be above that, because again, you know, on competing product, most of the competing product on the brightness alone, which we think is a big downgrade, is usually in the 200 to 300 nit range, right? At us at over 1,000 nits, and
it
also
makes a big difference.
Also being full HD resolution means it's sharp, it's clear, right? So we think that's very important.
Cool, awesome.
So rounding out the last part right here, guys, we're going to end things out with always my favorite. Which is going to actually be the networking side. So just Wi-Fi 7, you know, 2024 is going to be the year of Wi-Fi 7. We just launched the BE96. We launched the BE98, which is the ROG Rapture unit. I'd love to know in the chat, what are you using? Are you on Wi-Fi 5 still? Did you go to Wi-Fi 6? Are you on Wi-Fi 6E?
I'm 6E.
Right? You're 6E?
I'm 6E, but I'm shopping for 7 now.
Okay,
so like,
shopping for 7.
Shopping for 7.
So he's giving me the subtle hint that I got to get.
I wasn't going to say that. Like again, I'm shopping for 7. It's one of those things that I like to stay there because again, like now with even the refreshes on hardware for
on motherboards, on the latest phones, the laptops are going to be coming in, right? Latest
even new
devices.
handhelds, like there might be Ally 2, not that there is, or announcing that or anything
definitely
like that.
not. You didn't hear that.
I'm just saying. The thing is that those things being able to transfer to those makes a big deal, and I like having the fastest speed. So tell me about Wi-Fi 7.
So with this guy, we're going to have our first consumer mesh Wi-Fi solution. So for coverage, you want to be thinking when we go to something like this, you're not talking 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 square feet. You're talking about installation environments in excess of 5,000, 6,000 plus square feet. So very large home environments that need this type of coverage support. But the really impressive thing is we're showing here what's called MLO, which is an aggregation technology where we take multiple bands together and we create an ultra big pipe to be able to provide high level of performance. So you can actually see right here in CES with all the crazy insanity that we have going on, right? We just transferred in 10 seconds 7.8 gigabytes with an average actually bit rate of 6.7. So if we give you guys a little bit of a number breakdown, on average, Wi-Fi 6 was in most situations usually around 600 to 900 megabits. Wi-Fi 6E introduced the 1 gigabit plus barrier where you had about 1,000 megabits to 1.5 gigabits. With Wi-Fi 7, you're now seeing ranges of 4 to over 8 gigabits. That literally, again, to recap, that means 4 to 8 times the speed of a gigabit Ethernet cable.
And Wi-Fi 7 was actually a pretty big leap.
Look at that, 8.57, and this is, you're not going to have more electronics than you have right now here at CES.
And we have
right, in this room, and we're doing this in this corner, in this environment with all this RF stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we're hitting these throughput numbers.
I mean, you guys, we're live streaming via the thing to another camera, to like it's everywhere right now, and you guys are just seeing how good this is. And Wi-Fi 7, believe it or not, was actually a pretty big leap from the older stuff, right? So there's a lot of tech that went into Wi-Fi 7, just not only for security, but basically how strong the connectivity is, how stable it is, all sorts of things. So Wi-Fi 7 is actually really something worth looking into. And if you're on an older system making the jump, this is a good time to actually do that jump.
And I also want to note that it's not just about wireless. All Wi-Fi 7 product, you're going to see multi-gig LAN support and WAN support. So like these units come with 10 gig WAN ports and 10 gig LAN ports. So if you've got high speed, maybe NAS boxes, storage boxes, SANs, even just two systems you want to connect to, you want to have ultra high speed performance, the chipset and the platform is really catered towards just the fastest performance for both wired and wireless connections. So really, really exciting. The BQ16, we don't have a finalized price point. It will be a definitely premium product. As far as the position, you're going to think upwards of over $1,000, but we are going to have more Wi-Fi 7 product, and again, we have the BE96, which I think for most people, that's the better choice if you want kind of a very high performing unit, tri-band, 10G LAN, Wi-Fi 7 throughput is amazing. It supports AI mesh. If you want to put two of them together, you can. So that's a great starting point if you want to get on the Wi-Fi 7. So wrapping things up, Roby, Justin, the last thing I find really exciting is going to be this little guy. It's a little interesting. It might be the sleeper hit for me of CES 2024 from us. It's a travel router. It's a $130 travel router where all you need to do is you take that USB port and you can connect any phone, doesn't matter iOS or Android, plug into that, and you can take your 4 and 5G signal, and now you have a full Wi-Fi 6 access point that you can have in your hotel, your Airbnb, out on your camping site, wherever you might be. You don't have to do any type of setup or configuration experience. Just plug it in, bam, now you're using that cellular connection provided to all your devices. So instead of you having a hotspot from your phone, have a weak level of performance, be killing all those kind of devices because they're constrained, you can now all do it through a router. But on top of that, the router still then gives you things like you have an additional LAN port, you've got a USB port that you can connect storage to swap files, and you get all of the amazing features that Asus routers have. You want to do on-router VPN? You can do that there. So if you want WireGuard so that you can do geofencing, so that if you're traveling somewhere else but I want to watch my shows stateside, I can do that. I want advanced parental controls, I can do that. If I want quality service, I can do that.
So how mad is AT&T, T-Mobile, and everybody else at you for
Let's not comment on that, right? And then the kicker, we're at CES. Look, one thing that everybody will tell you at CES is they're never happy about the policies that a lot of spaces have on how they provide you Wi-Fi in your environments. Sometimes you get charged per the number of devices. Sometimes you have restrictions. So having a device like this where it's your own network based on your device is fantastic. But we got a really cool feature called WISP mode. WISP mode can actually integrate with actually airports or public hotspots or hotel wireless connections. So you can actually bridge those systems in and then share that to this device and then have your other devices, instead of connecting to that, they connect to this guy. So again,
That is pretty dang cool.
for $130.
For $130.
Again, like I said, the sleeper hit.
Yeah, I could just take this right now and it'd be free. This is awesome, guys. Okay, that is. Thank you for
I said
sharing.
the sleeper, right?
This is the sleeper. This is really okay. So if you're a content creator or somebody who does stuff like what we do, we need
It
one
should
of
be
these.
in your
Yeah,
bag, right?
we'll buy this. We'll buy this. Okay, it's available.
You know
now.
what? You travel a lot. How about this? There you go. You can leave
Oh,
CES.
snap, guys. Let's go. Okay. This is awesome. And AT&T, even though you're a sponsor, I'm just kidding. We didn't get this.
So this guy will be coming out, like I said, about that $130 price point within Q1.
This is
We're looking
awesome.
to have it probably end of this month and going into next month. But again, it seems deceptively simple, but light, compact. I love it. It's just a great accessory.
Okay, so two things before we go offline, and then we'll answer some questions at the very end here.
Yeah, for sure.
Laptop. You guys had a big laptop announcement. You guys were kind of hinting at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I'm a big fan of the Lenovo.
The new Fold? Is
Yes.
that what you're
So I'm a
talking about?
fan of the Lenovo YogaBook 9i,
Okay.
right? And so we've used a lot of Asus laptops, and so I would love to see the Fold.
Yeah.
And then do we have anything hot in the gaming laptop space?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I
so
think we got two super interesting models.
Okay, so we'll do those two things, and then we'll get to questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream experience and just giving you guys the full walk. Instead of you guys just getting to be passive, you get to sit here and see it all live and get your questions. But yes, I'd love to see the
All
Fold.
right, so let's take first a look at the brand new hotness with the G14,
Okay.
G16. So those are quintessentially maybe the go-to lightweight gaming laptop
Okay.
that everybody has loved. For this year, we've entirely overhauled the ID design and I think taken it to the next level. So let's go
Let's go
check
take
it
a
out.
look at those. I know some of you guys love laptops. I know laptops, it's getting to the point where we got to start thinking about those again. And so let's check it out.
So you can actually see right here, we've got the 2024 G16, and then over here we've got the G14. So you've got the 14-inch variant, and you've got the 16-inch variant. Now the big thing you're going to see is a big revision to the overall ID design. We've gone to really a really smooth, clean design aesthetic that it's a little bit less angular, a little bit less kind of G14, where I think that it was never kind of crazy in terms of the design styling, but here we've got to an even more level of refinement that I think if you wanted to have the performance and the feature set of a gaming laptop, but not necessarily have it feel that it's a gaming laptop, the G14 has already been doing that for years, but here's this is an evolution and a next level of refinement.
So the funny thing is that actually we were at the NVIDIA booth yesterday, and this was on display there, and they were like really excited about this one. And then the other too is obviously on the back, guys.
Yeah.
Check it out.
You still get a little bit of flash.
So what does the bar do? It's like, how does it react?
Yeah, so
and
you
can
have
customize it.
Yeah, you have some customization in there, but the ROG slash is an iconic part of the ROG design language, is these kind of angles, right? And so that's just a way of maintaining that we don't want this to just look like a slab of metal, right? We still want to be able to know this is an ROG-based product. It's got a beautiful identity and design to it. Now, we've also gone to a full CNC-based body design, which you see back behind you. We've deconstructed it.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a kind of alt there.
So you can
so pro at this.
So you can see it, just a beautiful representation of all the work that goes into that to be able to offer the fit, the finish, and the polish of the product. An ultra large, massive pad on here. I mean, some people might even think it's not really that big, but yes, it's an absolutely gigantic trackpad that you have on there. We updated to an OLED-based display that you also have on the unit with impressive brightness range, high performance space, of course. GPU refresh, right, along with, of course, the CPU refresh. LPDDR speed memory, so the memory is going to be soldered on, but we also made this notably thinner than even in the prior generation. And the G14 wasn't thick, but if you look at this is impressively thin for this level of performance, up to 4070 class GPU. When you talk about the actual TGP numbers, guys, you can see it locked in there, right? You're talking about up to 115 watts in terms of the TGP, the 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory right there. It's a really impressive level. Also, for you that care about audio, I love really great audio on laptops. G14 was good, but now this has 6 speakers. In addition to the 6 speakers, we also went to these really, really awesome new types of force woofers, where you can see this was already pretty good, but just look how much bigger
Wow.
we've gone ahead and made those. So you have 6 speakers in there. It's outstanding audio.
So how is it so unbalanced with gaming, right? This is always one of our big questions. How is the fan noise with balance at gaming?
I'd say it's very, very nominal in terms of the overall noise footprint.
Right.
You'll hear it, but that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, is that a lot of the work that we've done in terms of our fan tuning, our calibration, the actual design of the fans, all of that is designed to maximize that, not only airflow, but also maximize and minimize things like turbulence or variability in pitches that you can kind of very easily pick up.
Yeah.
So for me, this is a really great real world kind of using, a real world kind of gaming laptop, right?
And that's
this is not going to be loud, it's not going to be hot, it's going to give you great performance, not be crazy.
And then when we talk about GPU, how high are we going on the 40 series?
Yeah,
4070, 48?
in the prior series, our target was going all the way up to 4090, but we felt that in the refresh, again, we wanted to target, because in the G series, we're trying to not have it be too expensive, right? That's the reason why we have Zephyr's product and we have Scar product, which is for the absolute pinnacle of performance. So our target really here is going up to a 4070 class base.
Okay,
GPU.
and that makes, and again, you guys have seen that we've done that testing actually just not that long ago, showing you how much a mobile 4070, which is great for, you can do a lot of cinematic gaming with that, with ray tracing, DLSS, all that sort of stuff.
Plus, you also have to keep in mind that for laptops, always the tricky part is that power is a big thing,
about
right?
which one of those laptops has better battery life?
75 watts, or you could have something that's like 115 watts, or you could have something that's higher, and that does
And also
impact
wondering if NVIDIA
not only your
was
power,
releasing
but
NVIDIA
also, your battery life, but it also, of course, affects the overall relative performance, right?
And then last question, two other questions on this one. How many M.2 slots? Can we upgrade the M.2, or is it all basically?
For the memory, you're locked in. For the M.2, I will have to soft confirm, but I believe you still have upgradability in that respect. Also, a power note, because you might find of interest. So we still maintain USB PD power support, so you can charge via USB. But to be able to support the fastest high-speed charging, there's actually also a new power bank that will allow for a higher wattage level. So you have up to 100 watts via the USB-C, and then you would still use the new adapter, which looks like USB-C, but it's not a barrel jack. So it's actually our own in-house based design that comes with the unit. So you have 2 options. So if you want the fastest level of performance, the highest charge speed, you're going to use the included in-box adapter, which is a reversible type design, so very similar to USB-C, but it allows us to maximize the performance, keep the cost down, and then if you want to use USB-D for up to 100 watts, you just top off when you're maybe just traveling, maybe not gaming, right? Because you're probably not gaming if you're really traveling around a lot, then you can go that route.
Last question for this is that in terms of a lot of things have come out here in terms of optimizing like power curves and performance, plus also battery life and everything else. You guys have stuff basically built in software-wise? That does
100%. I mean, I think we've been best in class for that, beating everybody. I mean, there's even some competitors that still haven't even caught up to actually adjust your refresh rate, that when you disconnect it from an AC adapter, it actually automatically adjusts. We were the first vendor that literally, if your panel was like operating at 165 hertz, if you disconnected it, we dropped it down to 60 hertz so that we could maximize battery life. And there were competitors that weren't even doing that. So yeah, our Army Crate ecosystem is very advanced in that regard. Gives you tons of options to be able to customize the fan curve or just use basic presets. All of that is taken care of for you.
And guys, that's important, like especially if you're doing like gaming laptops and stuff like that, as somebody who does a lot of traveling, and these devices become really important for, I don't know, almost engagement and connection beyond. Being able to have that stuff makes a big difference, and you feel like you're getting the most out of your laptop. And the other thing too is, at first is spending a ton of time tinkering. I really do want tools that help me do a lot of that stuff automatically. It makes a big difference.
And just for clarification, because I realized when I said the GPU question, that was 4070 was for the G14. Okay. And then if you're looking at the bigger, the G16, you can go up to the 4090. But that was just a change because in the prior smaller factor, we actually allowed for even a higher GPU envelope.
Wow.
But again, the constraint of that is that you're even eating more power, producing more heat. So we felt that the best max choice for the G14 was actually the 4070.
Okay.
So let's look at the Fold.
The Fold, guys, this thing is like they've been hinting at it a ton. We got to see this. By the way, don't forget, these are actually really good phones, especially with the GeForce Now stuff that you have now.
So it's kind of tied up there, but I think we've got this one that we can actually see right here.
Checking it out there. You guys have seen me cover this. I think our initial coverage of the first one of these that kind of came out here, 22 million views off of this thing. So it's just one of those things.
I mean, it is kind of pretty insane. I mean, the really cool thing that we actually have over there is you can actually see kind of the history of what we've done with the Fold concept, right? We have like the full connected touch-based experience, how we've evolved it from one model to another model to another model to another model. And now here what we've done is essentially giving you that full extensive, full display experience, and then you have the decoupled keyboard that you can just go through the pogo pin design. It goes ahead and attaches back onto the unit. Now, the cool thing is that automatically connects via Bluetooth seamlessly. So the moment you remove it off, it still is actually a fully functioning keyboard. Like the touchpad works, the buttons, the function keys, all of that. So you can really fully maximize the whole experience of having two displays. But then the moment maybe you're traveling, as you can see right there, it's shown, you can have that adjustment, you can fold it back down, and it feels like a natural laptop, right?
Wow.
It's pretty wild. Again, it's super thin. It's an impressive level of engineering that we've had to have, that it's not just about just this 1 year. It's literally taking probably the last 5 years of consistent R&D, innovation, and kind of execution, kind of going, okay, let's keep moving the yardstick further, and further down.
So when you have the two, can you use it, because the only reason I ask is we have a lot of experience, obviously, with competitive products. When you take the keyboard off, can you use the bottom screen as a keyboard as well? Okay.
Yep.
So it has all of those same functionalities and stuff like that. The one thing as well, and this is something that just as a question.
So I think actually you can, if we pop over here really quick,
okay, here we
you
go.
can actually feel it out a little bit yourself. So the cool thing is, even if you kind of type on it, you'll feel that even the feeling independent actually feels quite nice, right?
Oh, wow, okay.
Which it's surprising for seeing something that thin, right?
And again,
the travel
look
distance.
Look at how thin this is. And that's crazy, and you can just sit
it has a 500 milliamp battery in there, right? Which is pretty insane to fit a very ultra thin, because normally even like in a mouse, a 500 milliamp battery would be probably about that thick. So to be able to take that down, spread it out within that space, be able to then put everything in there, have it work seamlessly, the pogo pane-based design receptacles, all that is pretty crazy.
So the question I have is that what's the battery life on the keyboard?
That I don't know for you.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that it always makes me nervous. I always think my keyboard's going to die on the end.
I would say though, because this is using Bluetooth Low Energy, I would actually not be surprised that you wouldn't. And of course, also keep in mind that it's pretty much going back with the top-off recharge every time it goes back. So for most situations, you're probably never going to be in a situation where you feel like, I need to recharge this. Right?
It's pretty crazy, because the one thing that I like about this particular form factor is, again, it looks like it actually transforms into almost like a regular laptop, which is like just more traditional. The other thing too is you do get the full keyboard experience versus in the other one it's like small. Mouse, it's all trackpad. Does it come with a mouse as well? Do you know?
No bundled, at least to my knowledge, no bundled base mouse within that unit. But you can also see the trackpad has been made extremely large, right? So you got tons of surface area control. You have, of course, all your standard buttons. So in that perspective, it doesn't feel like a truncated or brought down kind of keyboard, where when you're talking about like here in the prior Zen Fold, right, you would have some adjustments right there.
Okay, yeah, that was one thing. This is something else that also has been, and I don't know if there's a good way to do it. Oh, I guess you do it here. Okay, put it on 2.
Yep.
Okay, so that is something else that has also been like a thing, and then here, put it on 1.
Yeah, so that's something that we introduced a couple of years back, where we have like these quick mapping options, so that you don't have to kind of drag everything. You could just, once you get really fluid at knowing what you need to kind of sync and move to the right spots, it becomes very, very secondhand.
That is actually huge, guys. Let me just say, because as somebody who uses something like this all the time, like trying to get things, that's why I was always like, dang, I got to use the mouse, like you figuring that stuff out. So there's a lot of intuitiveness to this. Definitely something we need to play with more for sure, but very, very cool. Okay, so let's head over. Let's answer some last minute questions
can be used as a
and go
drawing
from there.
I like that. I like that. The Pops was like, yeah, hand it over here.
Yeah, hand it over. Yeah, he's going. He's making sure that we get it. Okay, coming on over.
All right, we've got a question about the laptop that we just saw.
Okay.
So I'll do my best. I'm going to preface it that I'm pretty knowledgeable on most things Asus, but I handle all of our component series product line.
You did so good, JJ. So, thank you very much.
So if I give you a TBD or we'll follow up, just keep that in mind.
We'll try and get that answer. Okay. If we don't have the answer, put it in the comments. We'll get the answer. We'll answer that way.
Okay. So the question is, can the bottom screen of the tablet be used as a drawing pad?
So stylus support, I would actually say that I need to confirm that. Historically, we have had models that have stylus-based support, but there's also different levels of whether you want like true Wacom, like AMR-based kind of support, or whether it's just going to be touch and based input. So to what extent, I would actually have to confirm that.
Okay, so we'll get that information. Ask in the comments on YouTube, and we'll make sure that we get that question answered.
Okay, next question about staying on laptops, high-end laptops. What is the model that has the best battery life? What's that like for those gaming laptops?
Well, that gets really interesting. I mean, if you're talking about laptops in general, that probably wouldn't be under a G series product, right?
Sure.
You would probably want to be looking at one of our ZenBook, or even actually one of our ExpertBook series. Actually, we have ExpertBook models that actually have rated, true under testing, literally over 20-hour battery lives. We have actually one B series expert model, which actually is designed for over 24 hours, because it uses actually a special type of refresh type of panel technology, that what it does is it actually will hold the image, and until there's actually new data to actually be refreshed,
wow, that's kind of cool.
It will actually then refresh, and so that actually really helps to stabilize it, and we introduce that into our business series. So if you're somebody that wants super light, still good performance, but your paramount kind of factor is long-term battery life, I would say look at our ZenBook and our Expert or B series based product. If you're looking for that balance in terms of very high performance and battery life, then probably G series or our VivoBook line.
And hopefully that answers your question.
All right. So next question on sticking with laptops. Any release date on the Duo?
No, we probably do have one, but not one that I know 100%.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We'll try and get that information. Ask again in chat. We'll try and follow up with that.
Okay, next question. Let's move on to the AirVision M1.
Okay.
There was a question about the nose piece.
Yes.
If something were to happen to that nose piece, Lord knows we've all broken a pair of glasses in our lives, once or twice. How easy is it to replace?
So the actual pads, right, on the inside are very easy to replace, and there's a second set that's already included inside. So that's not necessarily a repair element, but let's just say maybe you kind of took it off, you lost the pad, so you could just have a second set that's inside the box. We're also in discussion with our team to try to have a certain level of, let's say, replaceable accessory support for the unit. So if something did need to be replaced, like the cable, although it's a standard USB to C cable.
But it's got that little bend, right?
Yeah, it's got a little bit bend. So we're looking at kind of certain elements like that, so that if you want the ability to have some, let's say, repairability or accessory replacement, we are trying to account for that. So that's actually really good feedback, letting us know what do you want to see, so that we can plan for that towards that Q2 release.
And the thing is if people want to give you that feedback, because these are unreleased products, how do they go about doing that?
So I think one of the best ways you can do it is, one, I'll give a plug to our actually PC DIY community. So our PC DIY community is actually a dedicated group that we have that covers all of our component products. They can definitely do that there. You can also actually email pcdiy@asus.com. If you want to go through more formalized channels, you can actually always contact our services support team, whether it's through email or live chat, and say that I have a product recommendation. And then that can get logged by a team, and then we'll translate that back over to our headquarters
So
team.
if you have thoughts, these are the ways to do it. They're not just blowing smoke up your butt. You actually can leave that feedback.
Yeah, don't yell at them on the internet.
Exactly.
This doesn't help anybody.
Okay.
All right, so last question. There was a lot of hype in the chat for that mobile router that you showed off.
I love it.
There's a lot. I know. There's a lot of hype about it. Can you give us the model number for that?
It's the AX57 Go.
And we'll get a link. We'll try and get a link to that. We'll put it down in the descriptions. Guys, we'll get you a link over that in Discord and everything else. Okay. How long have we been live?
We have been live for 1 hour and almost 40 minutes.
Okay, that was way longer than I thought. Okay, and I'm pretty sure Brian's ready to stab me. He is, he's down. Guys, I want to say a huge shout out obviously to JJ for taking us on the entire
fantastic.
tour.
Thank you.
We literally know thousands of you guys who basically watch this over on Asus Twitter and then obviously everywhere else. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know if you want to see more of these. I'm really glad that you love the quality and how good it was. We are always trying to improve here at Robeytech Live. Anyway, guys, that is it for us here from CES. We will see you guys in the next year at CES, but not. We got Computex and lots of other stuff. Don't leave. We still got more. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. everybody's talking about the Santa hat. That's tomorrow, guys. Today's not the giveaway build. That's tomorrow with the Starfield build. We still have one more day. And then we have
it ruined it. Yeah, I